This is a story from Africa and from the people of Africa. It is about survival in the veld and how to relate to your environment and how to relate to the people that you have to live with every day. Of course, your biggest enemy out here in the veld is your fear for the unknown, the things that you don't know, the things that you can't see, especially when it's dark as it is now. The story is therefore also about trust. Trust in one another and trust in the skills and the knowledge that you have. Now that the sun is setting and it's becoming dark, maybe it's a good time to talk about our fears and our concerns. And I know that out here in the veld, especially if you're alone tonight, then you're going to feel lonely and you're going to feel very much uncertain. Especially if you hear all sorts of funny noises and you can't see into the dark. You know the sound of the lion roaring out there? And you're going to think that maybe this creature is coming for me. Well, let me tell you, it's not true. And that is exactly what happens in our lives. We fear things that's never going to happen. We concern ourselves about things that will just not happen. We don't need to fear anything out here. And we should talk about our fears much more. We're all afraid, and we can actually help each other and assist each other in conquering our fears when they appear. Knowledge of the veld is not enough. Your inner qualities are also of great importance. And I would like to discuss some examples with you. If only I'd known I can use this shepherd's tree to my advantage. The young leaves and the fruit I can eat. The young leaves I can boil it in water and make spinach of it. And then the roots, maybe that's the most important. You can make the best coffee in the world with the roots of this shepherd's tree. You can also boil it up and eat it as a porridge, and then also use it as a preservative for your meat and other food that you have. It's a wonderful tree to know and to use to your advantage. Through knowledge and understanding, people will always be hopeful. It will help them to thrive and to share what they have with others and share the abundance of what they have created. I think one of the important things in life is to get wisdom, to get insight, and just to understand your environment, the people that you work with. You need to understand the diversity of people and all the talents and the gifts that they have. You need to understand the diversity of nature in order to survive out here. Welcome at my hide. It was a lot of hard work to get everything here. If I look back now, I realize if only I'd known that all this was possible. I had to discover that it was possible. I still remember right in the beginning when I battled without clothes, my first shoe, look at this, from the skin of an impala. And it was nice to walk around with this and actually make myself comfortable. But it was all possible to create and to be innovative and just make things that you can use that will make life easier and will not only help you to survive, but eventually also help others. For example, think of the sticks you use to make your own fire. A bamboo container, a fork and knobkerrie carved from wood, a bow and arrow to hunt for the pot, a clay pot made from elephant or buffalo dung, clay and water, weaved ropes from plants or the inner bark of a baobab tree, a hide where you can sleep at night, and then one must not forget the cooler where you can get cold water to drink. And this you can drink with your baobab container. For food there's always a tortoise or a snail. Now this is a beautiful spot to create a hide, a place to stay and a place to make yourself comfortable in. There's a lot of water, there's a lot of bird and animal life, and really that's what you need. And I think what is maybe very important is to realize that if there's too many people, if the group is too big, then it makes a lot of sense to split up into smaller units. And then from that unit you will actually do your hunting and your work and set up your snares and get involved with nature, and eventually that is what will create the opportunities. And I must be honest with you, out here in the veld, this is where you make the split-second decisions. This is where you write up the strategies. It's right up front, there where you make contact with the animals and the opportunities as they come every day. Yeah, and what I like the most is after a day in the veld, coming back is to share with my friends, and we sit around the campfire and we just share the experiences, we just share the emotion, and that's the learning experience. Then we consolidate, and from that learning experience then tomorrow we can improve and we can just repeat it again. One of the most important aspects in the veld is to get enough water. And this is about priorities. I know that the general tendency will be to look for food first, and you will feel hungry if you haven't got anything. But it is important to understand that priorities should be set. And the first priority is water. In the fast-flowing rivers in Africa, most of the water just runs away towards the sea. And although you can find water in other places, you can find it in plants, you can find it in the stomach of animals, antelope, it is really the water that you find in riverbeds that I would prefer. It's clean water, it's nice water, and if you just know where to dig, you can get this water. And let me be honest with you, I also learned the hard way to find the water. It was only later that I realized that if you look on the upstream side of rock reefs like this one, that is where you will find water. Or on the outside bend of the riverbed, that is where the water is. Where you find palm trees, the lala palm or other palms, about a meter away, that is where you will find nice water. You can also dig a hole where animals has already started, the elephant or the baboons, and just go deeper. You'll most probably get the water. They know where the water is. And after doing a lot of work here and get some water, I would like to have a sip myself. The baobab tree, well known in Africa, and it's also known for all its uses in the veld. It's got a white flower, a beautiful flower. You can eat that. And the young leaves, if you cook it up in water as a spinach, that is very nice to have. And then there's a lot of water in the baobab. In this baobab, on the inside of the trunk, you'll very often find rainwater. And from the roots of the baobab, you can also get water, as with the marula. And then of course there's the fruit. It's nice to use as a container. You can eat it, and the pips, if you roast it, you can make some nice coffee with that. And then the inner bark, let me be honest with you, maybe it's the strongest rope that you can ever imagine getting from the veld. And if you really want to, you can pull your 4x4 out of the sand with it. Now this is one of the nicest trees in the veld, the marula. Well known for its fruit. The animals just love it, and so do we. In summertime you can pick up the fruit, you can get it from the trees. Rich in vitamin C. 2 or 3 of these fruits is equivalent to orange and even more. And you can also take the fruit and put it in your water bottle and just shake it up and have a nice fruit drink. It's very nice. But it's also known for its bark, and this is the stick that you can easily use to make fire. Use it as the bottom stick and get your fire going. And then of course there's the roots of the marula. As with the baobab, you can just take it out from the ground, and if you hang it upside down for one evening, tomorrow morning you'll have a nice cup of water. But maybe the most amazing thing of this tree is the inner bark. If you open it up a little bit, and I don't want to hurt this tree, but let me just show you. You will see it's reddish, and there's quite a lot of moisture there. Now that is what you need. You just take it out, and whenever you got stung by anything, if you put it on the place where you've been stung, then you will be healed very, very fast. Okay, lad, this is lunchtime. So let me just get you in the pot here. That's it. Okay, keep it calm. That's it. Let me just get you in the pot. There we go. I never realized how important is the diversity in the veld. The different animals and plants and trees and the water. One big ecosystem, and the amazing thing is the interdependence within this system. And the one is dependent on the other. The one will actually help the other. But it's very important to understand that there's always boundaries in between. And it is these boundaries that we as human beings have to respect and to live by. Behind me in the pool there's some hippo and some crocs. And you can actually see how they respect one another and keep the distance. It is important for us also to understand this and to live by these rules, if we not only want to survive but also want to thrive in terms of this diversity. As with most antelope, the buffalo never wanted to be separated from the rest of the group. As a matter of fact, its whole existence depends on the group. Now this is also true of us as people. And if we can learn to focus on other people, then we will become healthier people. And then other people will reflect who we are. It is always important to know where you're going. My experience is that people will always be motivated when they know where they're going. If they've got a clear picture, a vision of what it is that they would like to achieve. Of course, they do need a lot of skills and expertise and a lot of experience to get there. And then people need to be trusted. If they feel empowered and if they feel that you trust them, they will achieve a lot. Direction is important to know where you want to go. There's a lot of things in the veld that one can use to help you. The sun and the moon and the stars and the trees and the animals, they can all help you to determine where you have to go. It is, however, important to understand that we need leadership in order to take us there. If I look around me, I see these beautiful horizons, and then I realize that life is very much so. I see the horizon, and It's only when I get there that I see the next horizon. Ultimately, the horizon is not the end. It's only part of the journey. It's part of the road that I have to take, the map that I have to follow. And I think people also need to look back sometimes in their lives and see what they've achieved and understand what they've achieved and be proud of that in order to carry on with their journey. On a day like today, when there's no sun shining, it's easy to get lost and you don't know where you're going. And it's then when you can also get assistance from the trees and the birds and the anteaters, and they will tell you where north is or south. If you look at this tree, and then you will see that on this trunk that on the northern side the bark is much more smoother, and on the southern side it's much more rougher. And if you just look over there towards the anthill, you will see that the top of the anthill is actually tilting over towards the northern side. And that will give you an indication of where to go and what direction to take. One of the most important things in the veld is to track the spoor of another person or an animal. It is possible that someone can get lost and you would like to track that person. Now, of course, these principles in tracking you can apply to your personal life, you can apply it to business again, to stay on course, to stay focused, not to be diverted, to really achieve your objective. You only live today. Yesterday is gone. You cannot change yesterday. And in a certain sense, tomorrow is still a dream. Therefore, it's important to give it everything today. It's interesting, but you know, every time that when I get out in the veld and I can just sit and listen to the birds next to the river here, it really contrasts with my everyday life in a big town or in the city. For one or other reason, we never get time to stop and just reflect on the day or reflect on life. And I think it's important to understand that you need moments like this. You need your own little place. I almost want to call it a sacred place, just a place where you can sit still and reflect on your thoughts and your experiences. For me, this is part of everyday life out in the veld. We have spoken about the importance of having vision and to know where you're going and determine the direction that you would like to go. We've spoken about priorities, to get your priorities right. We've spoken about quality, the quality of life and the value that you can add not only to your own life but also that of others. And I think the most important thing, however, is to understand that you can make choices and that you can decide. Remember, we've said that you can choose your own attitude. It's the same principle. If you want to change your life or maybe start something new, then the decision is yours. And that is what makes us different from the animals of the veld. I think of the steenbok, who will run away and stop and always look back, and then very often fell prey to the predator. We're different. We've got a conscious, a subconscious, and yes, we can decide. We can determine our own destiny and our own future. And that's the most amazing thing of our lives, isn't it? And maybe the best time to do it is today. Life is so short. And I would like to challenge you to make new decisions in your own life. And can I be fair with you? It takes a lot of guts to make these decisions. It takes a lot of guts to acknowledge that you did make a mistake or that things are not right in your own life. I think now is the time to do it. My message to you is, life is your choice. Do the best you possibly can. And remember, with the right attitude and understanding of your environment, it is possible to thrive.